We need to come down.
How old is Shia?
Soon to be 4.
Soon to be 4. Okay.
Yes. So she's really good at letting me know that that's not what she'd like to do right now, mommy. Or, yes.
I don't want to do that.
I'm coming, mommy. Yeah.
We're live.
We are live. We are
Okay.
live.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Hello, Reclaiming Our Identity fam. We have 2 of our favorite people on the continent right here on your screen. This is the famous, we made you guys famous. We brought your name up in quite a few of our videos, Tachonta and Gabriel. And in this live video, we will be interviewing these lovely people so they can let you know who they are, what they are about, how they came to live in Ghana. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. So let's get to it. You guys are the most phenomenal Airbnb hosts that we have ever come in contact with. And so we just want to thank you again publicly for being so incredible to us while we were there. We felt like family. We really felt like somebody had our back and was looking out for us. I have put the link to their Airbnb on some previous videos so you guys can go back and look through our playlist and see that. Also, I don't know if you all have seen it, but I did a condo walkthrough. It was really brief. It was the night before we were about to go to the airport. And I had videoed it about 3 times, but none of them came out well. Either the lighting was poor or I kept forgetting to turn my camera horizontally. And the previous ones were I took my time. I talked about things that we had great lighting. But right before we went to the airport, I said, I am determined to do a walkthrough of this condo so people can see it. I'm just rushing and hear the lights and there's the patio and look at the bed. So if anybody has seen that and wondered why it was so short, that's why we were preparing to leave to go to the airport to come back to the US. And I didn't have time to really give a detailed tour. So, and in that video, I believe that we put on the bottom of it, the link to the Airbnb where you can book the stay in Accra, Ghana. So that is how we came to know Tachonta and Gabriel. So you guys, tell us a little bit about yourselves. Just introduce yourselves individually and collectively as husband and wife, and tell us how you came to end up in Ghana.
Well, I met him on a layover, working as a flight attendant, and friends asked me to come out, and I said, okay, all right. There was dancing involved, so as long as there's dancing, I'm there. So then he just be there, and I'll let you continue the story from there. We both have different versions to the story, so I'll let him finish it.
Same.
Right. Well, my intention when I moved to Ghana was to set up a recording studio, which I did. And at that particular time, I'd finished recording and I went to my friend's place called Republic Bar and Grill in Oslo. Just to de-stress, have a drink, get something to eat before I go home. Then, I ordered a drink. I was sitting there minding my own business. Then I went to the washroom. When I came back, there was like a lot of people at my table. I'm like, what's going on here? So I didn't say anything. I just sat down. My glass was there. Then after a couple of minutes, one of the ladies said to me, excuse me, sir, don't you feel uncomfortable? I said, uncomfortable for what? They were like, well, you're not talking to any of us. Like, you came here and you're sitting down, you're not saying anything. And we all know each other, but we don't know you. So I said to them, listen, when you came here, did you see that there was a glass on the table with a drink in it? And they said, yeah, but we didn't know who it belonged to. I said, yeah, because that belongs to me. Okay. So you guys, and they were like, well, you're gate crushing our party. I said, no, you saw the drink here, you're gate crushing my party. Okay. So they started laughing and joking. They were like, I like the way this guy stuck up for himself. We're from New York and, we speak our mind. And they never met, I guess they never met someone from the UK that was very, I don't back down. Yeah. So, they're like, oh, come and join us. So they made the table, they added more tables together and it just became one big, you know, get together. Then 2 people joined, I think 30 minutes later, and she was kind of like to the left of me, but on the other side. And I was talking to one of her friends, her work colleagues. We were laughing and joking about certain things, but I kept on looking in her direction, thinking, why is she so quiet? Like everybody else is laughing and you know, and she's just quiet. So I was intrigued by that, and I was like, you know what? In my mind, I was like, I'm going to talk to her later on. So we kind of we ended up going to Aphrodisiacs, and it was a reggae night. So we all just jumped in a taxi. Went down there because Uber wasn't around those times. No, it was just a taxi. So we took a taxi down there, and I just saw her. You know, she was on the dance floor dancing by herself. So I was like, you know, they're
the
playing.
way I like it.
You know,
my own space.
Okay. You know,
I don't need nobody else.
They were playing reggae, and I was like, you know what, reggae dance floor, that's my thing anyway. You know, so I just went over and I was like, you know, I said there was a guy that was dancing kind of like close to her. I was like, are you with him? And she was like, no, I'm by myself. So I took control from that. Then I just slid in. Yeah. And 9 years later, we're still here.
So how did you guys get to Ghana? How did you guys get to Ghana? How did that whole process take place?
Before you tell us that, can you introduce the little person whose toy we hear?
Is it
our
loud?
daughter?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's audible, but just so people will know, that's what they hear. You have, your union has produced fruit.
Yeah, it's true. If she starts talking, that's it. She's gonna go on and on and on and on. So yeah, so we have a little daughter here.
We have a 3-year-old.
Diane, say hello.
Hi. She's like, hello. Okay.
We're supposed to do it. Just show her.
It's okay.
Yeah, she's watching this program that is, I think, lizards in it, so she keeps on sticking out her tongue.
Oh, that makes sense. All right, she's absorbing what she's watching. I got it. Okay, so hubby's question.
So how did you guys end up making it to Ghana? Since you are from Gabriel, you are from the UK, and Tachonta is from Florida. So you guys met. How did you guys end up deciding to move to Ghana?
Make Accra your home.
Yes.
Before that, I have to tell you, I was so happy that he did not want to stay in the UK because I am not a cold weather person. I lived in New York for a little while, and it does snow in North Carolina as well. That's where I was born. But there's no snow. There's chilly days in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but this current weather, it's getting below freezing. But when he told me that he did not want to live in the UK, I said, thank you. Because I don't want to live anywhere cold anymore. So when he experienced Florida, you know, I was like, okay, that's great. But then we decided, he said, have you thought about living outside of the US? So since my dad was in the military, I've lived outside of the US already. So it was 3 countries that we've lived in. So I've never lived in Africa, but I've visited or I have flown there for work. So, I mean, we've gone back and forth. We met there. So we've come back and forth to the US, Ghana, UK, Ghana. But we decided to build here and make this home. So we started building. Still building.
So tell us exactly, you say you started building. And so Gabriel, what is your trade?
Background.
What is your background?
Right. So it's funny when people ask me that because I do so many things. But for a long time, I was a media practitioner, but I was mainly working in the music industry, songwriting, music production, and stuff like that for various record labels. So when I moved to Ghana, the intention was to help with the music industry over here. That didn't go too well because unfortunately the artists in Ghana unfortunately don't respect paperwork, okay? In terms of, signing
Contracts.
the recording contract, and, you tell them that, look, you've got to fulfill your contract. They're like, well, what are you going to do? Sue me? I haven't got anything anyway. Then you have to, it's like, well, after putting all your money into projects, you realize that, yeah, you can't. It's like, if you're going to sue them, what have they got? So for me, it was, moving into real estate was the next best thing, because it made sense in terms of whatever you build, whatever revenue you get from that, it's definitely something that it's definite. Okay, when you produce music, or even if you do video or a movie or something, it's based on people's taste. So people will like it, they may not like it. You're going to end up, either with money or without.
Mm-hmm.
With a home, I remember this old saying, if you build it, they will come. So that was the idea behind kind of like how we built our first apartment building where you stayed in. Was that, let's build it. We've already got the family land to do so. And we can generate something from there, then move on to the next project. But the great thing about that is, even though, yes, we've got the apartment building that we have, outside of town, because we like space, we like greenery, and where it is, it's just beautiful. You see the hills, the land space is just beautiful. We're digging a pond as well, and we're going to be building chalets as well. So eventually, when all of that's done, the chalets are going to go to Airbnb as well. So it's the same kind of experience that you saw in our apartment building. You'll get that same experience, or even more,
with a lake.
The chalets. Yeah.
The difference is out in Taiwan, because we have so much land there and space, you'll be able to just relax, decompress, and just enjoy all the nature that's around you. Now in Accra, we're really close to everything. So it's all hustle and bustle over there. So you have two different types of atmospheres that you can experience when you come.
Yeah.
And we'll be growing our own fruits and vegetables.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I'm so happy about that.
I know.
What you eat tonight? I don't know. Go pick something out. Let's cook it.
Okay. And the pond as well. We're gonna have fish in there as well. We can go drag some fish out of there and grill it.
That's ideal. I know that's a big part of why a lot of people want to move to the continent, because it's so fertile, and to be able to grow your own food is great. So you talked about two things that we've heard come up a lot on various YouTube videos that we watch. You are a Ghanaian by birth, so you already had citizenship, I would assume. I want you to speak to that, and whether or not your wife is eligible for citizenship. And then property, you say you already had family property. There are some people who want to move to Ghana and buy land. So there's some red tape and some bureaucracy involved in that we've heard, and you even talked to us a little bit about that. But I know, like in Tanzania, non-citizens can buy land, right? You cannot buy land in Tanzania if you are not a citizen.
Yeah.
So tell us about citizenship for you and your wife, and land purchasing. Any challenges that those who are watching and may be interested in moving to Ghana might come across?
Right. Firstly, I was actually born in the UK.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born in the UK. Came to Ghana when I was 7, left when I was 9, came back when I was 13, and left when I was 17.
Okay.
And didn't come back into 2004 for about nearly a year. Went back to the UK to finish university, then came back finally in 2013 when we met. Yeah. Right. So when it comes to buying land in Ghana, it's very tricky. I mean, we've had our fair share of scammers, in a sense that you might meet people who seem to be genuine, you know, they say, you know, if you're looking for land, go and speak to the family or to a chief. And, you know, if you're not aware of certain situations, you can put yourself in trouble. I mean, I had a particular situation where, you know, we bought land and introduced my business partners to buy land in that same area. And it turned out that the people that we were buying from, they didn't have the right to sell the land in the first place. So it was a tricky situation. We managed to get out of it. And but we own the land now because we met the actual owners. And the great thing about it is my grandfather knows, well, actually he's passed, but I mean, my grandfather knew their grandfather, and they were, the family is a very large family. They were my grandfather's lawyers. So if you look at all of our old documents pre-independence, it's got the name of the family stamp on there and stuff. So it's funny how, you know, it went 360. And I'm a believer of, you know, certain things are meant to happen for a particular reason. So I would advise anybody, if you're looking to buy a property in Ghana, do it through a reputable agent. Make sure you do what they call a land search. When doing a search through the lands department, whether it's in Accra or Koforidua or whatever district that covers where the land is that you're interested in, when you do a search, the search report comes back and it shows you the names of, you know, either the name or the names of the people that own the actual land. Then you can start moving forward with the purchasing. Now, in some situations, the documents might come back in, let's say, a mother's name or a father's name, and they've since passed. So you have a situation where you need to get the, you know, the will and all the other stuff that
might be a power of attorney.
You know, power of attorney. There's so many different documents that can attest to the fact that yes, they do actually own the property through inheritance. And they will have to prove themselves as well in terms of, you know, you have to see either a government ID just to make sure that their names are the ones that's actually on the document, you know, because, you know, it's, you know, I can only speak of Ghana. And unfortunately, you know, it is getting better because of digitalization. But, you know, somebody can fraudulently, you know, get a passport or a government ID, you know, everyone's got some kind of connection. So that's why I said you need to be very, very careful. If, say, for example, you're not from Ghana and you want to buy and register land, you can, but the limit on that is you get 50 years. It's like a 50-year lease.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I heard about that.
You have to renew it after the 50 years. If you're Ghanaian, now I think they brought out the law last year. They give you 99 years, then you will have to re-register. But that's something that the grandchildren will have to deal with.
Right.
It doesn't mean you lose your house or anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just saw your face.
Yeah.
You don't lose anything.
You don't lose your house. You don't. No.
You're just re-registering, putting it down under your
registering the land. That's all
Okay.
it is. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
So was it
Do not panic.
goodness?
Sorry.
So I was gonna say, was it that process that you were able to track down the family that actually owned it?
Yes.
Okay.
So originally, before I bought the land, I told the surveyor to do a search before you know, we purchased the land. He didn't do his due diligence, and because he was kind of like he was getting paid regardless of what the situation is. He just went ahead and just did what he needed to do. So in that regard, it was, you know, it was a painful lesson, but a lesson well learned. Because now I'm into real estate in Ghana now, and I will never ever put my clients in the position that we were in.
Learn from the
It's very, very important.
So let me ask this question just to clarify. So the 50 years, after the 50 years, that's for foreigners, and that land has to go back to the original owner, correct?
No. After 50 years, you renew the
Oh,
lease.
you get to renew. Okay.
Kind of like renewing your driver's license.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you have?
So what have been some of your challenges, as well as some of the privileges or the blessings of being in Ghana, as opposed to the UK or in America?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Getting straight answers. That is the worst. Getting straight answers.
That's a
It's,
challenge.
they'll tell you yes, just so that you'll be happy and you'll go along with what they say.
Mm-hmm.
Then when you explain to them and they're like, yeah, okay, yes, no problem. So you come back and you see what they've done, and it's nothing like what you said. Oh, but this is Ghana. Oh, it's Ghana. It's good. That's not what I asked for. So that gets frustrating. The roads are frustrating. The way that the sewer system is on the streets, there's no cover, but it's a wide enough track to where if you go over too far, your front tire will fall in there. So if you're trying to do a 3-point turn, that right there, oh my goodness. I'll let you continue.
Yeah. Everything she said. I mean, the thing is, with my experience, unfortunately, with what happens in Ghana is, I like the fact that you wake up every morning and you're free. I love the freedom. I love the freedom. I love the heat to a certain extent. I'm always, if I'm not in the house with the air conditioning, or I'm in the car, in the truck with the air conditioning, but I love the fact that I'm in a hot country. I like the fact that there's still elements of culture that's here that hasn't been tainted by the Western experience.
Yeah.
When I say that, it's the manners of greeting somebody. The respect to the elders. Even if someone is 2 years older than you, you still give a certain level of respect to them. The education system is okay. It's not the greatest because they still kind of function on the theory as opposed to the practical. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the trust element is a big one for me, because when you first come to Ghana, you have that love affair of that whole thing.
You see a lot of chocolate people that look like you, or look like your cousin, or look like somebody.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is that
So
whole
you feel like
love
you're
affair?
coming home, yeah.
You feel you're coming home. It's that whole love affair of, people have that romanticism of what they feel Africa should look like,
Right.
especially when after watching films like Black Panther and stuff like that, or coming to America in the last scenes where you see elephants and all that kind of stuff walking by. Then when you get here, you're like, oh, they've got a modern. Ghana's got a modern airport. What's going on?
Yeah.
But it's just certain things, that, like, it's a simple thing. Let me just give an example of like what my wife was saying about asking someone something genuine, like, oh, how much does this cost if you go to the market? Now, it would cost, let's say, 5 cities for a particular item, but just because you have a foreign accent, it went up, it doubled.
Really?
Okay, so it's very important that you do your due diligence of what certain things are, then haggle your way. I remember my mom was telling me, God rest her soul, when I first came to Ghana, when I moved back to Ghana, she was like, anytime you're asking somebody for a price of something, cut it by half, because they've already doubled it.
Mm-hmm.
Then haggle your way in between, which it still kind of works out till today,
Oh, yeah.
Because the dollar, the pound is very strong anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're trading with anybody or doing anything, let it be known that it is cheaper to live here.
Yes.
When it comes to gas, if you're watching from the UK, petrol. Gas is really expensive over here. I remember, we used to fill up our gas like $25 to like $29
When we were in Florida.
when we were in Florida.
Yeah.
Here?
We had a Buick Encore.
Yeah. But now we've got 2 F-150s in our trucks. And they drink, but we're spending like $100 each on filling up the gas tank. Yeah.
And it's hard to fathom because Ghana is now an oil producing country. So it shouldn't be that much. And we have a port here, and we used to have a refinery. That refinery is not in operation right now, but that would help take down the price. And with the price of petrol going up, we say petrol, I say gas in Florida, but petrol. The price of petrol going up, that will increase the price of any goods that are in need of transport in the country. So the cost of living is higher now. And it's not just the expats that are feeling it, it's for the locals as well. And that's not a good thing at all. It's not a good thing.
But the great thing that I do like, and this might be me just being spoiled, is the fact that you can live here and have house help. So we don't need to clean the house. Just gets taken care of.
Yeah.
We don't have a driver now because I love driving, even though I get home really tired. But I think that's something that I definitely will have in the next couple of weeks. Yeah.
Oh, okay, in a couple of weeks.
Well, depends. Well, when the house is complete, definitely.
Well, I like driving because I need to know my way around. I want to know the back roads, side roads, all of that. That way I can find out the best way to get through the traffic. Because you guys, you've experienced the traffic. And it can be crazy.
Yeah.
So if he's driving and I'm watching a movie, I feel bad for him. But I need that movie there. That way I can be their support.
So
And the thing is, you can watch the whole movie while you're sitting in traffic.
Yes.
You don't find it challenging to navigate your way because we didn't see a whole lot of street signs, telling you what road you're on.
And
you use GPS all the time, Tachonta?
a lot of those streets don't have signs. Yeah. But the signs that are there, people don't follow them anyway. What they do is they go by landmarks. So if you tell somebody, oh yes, just go to Coca-Cola roundabout and then take the first exit off of that, you're like, oh, okay. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, yeah, right. Like I know. I pull this out and do Google Maps.
Amen. There you go.
So now I've gone so many places where, oh, I don't need it. Now I just put it to the side. And I think I'm like this now, just driving. I'm ready. I'm ready, especially with me being in a truck. Now, if I was in one of those little small Ford Fusions or something, I would be a little more nervous. But because I'm in an F1 city, if they hit me, I would barely feel it.
Let's talk about if they hit you. Two questions on that. Is the GPS reliable?
Yes.
Your Google Maps, is it very reliable? It doesn't drop you off somewhere or just you?
Very good.
It is.
Directions
But
anymore?
Sorry. Oh, can I just say a disclaimer? If we talk over you, I apologize. The internet over here goes through changes sometimes. So if we might be sitting here with our mouths open because it hasn't moved, but we've already gone over to the next conversation. So we apologize. Okay, but so now I forgot what I was talking about. I wanted to
Google Maps reliability.
Sorry. Google Maps. Oh yeah, Google Maps is good. It does show me roads, but some of those roads are actually thoughts. They're not actual roads.
Yeah.
Because you think it might be a road, but it's full of holes, and you're like this driving because it's nothing but a dirt road, and you're going through hills and valleys. So you have to be conscious of that right there. But just be prepared for that, and you'll be all right. Okay. Yeah. So
And
Google Maps does work.
150, so you can handle the potholes and everything. And
yes.
So why do you feel confident?
We had an Elantra. Sorry?
That didn't work. The Elantra didn't work.
Yeah, we had an Elantra, but I was like, oh no, this is a little too much. And then let's see, before we had We had the launcher when I was pregnant with Shia?
No.
Okay. What do we have then?
I want to go back and ask.
Sorry?
I'm sorry. I want to go back and ask a question that I meant to ask when Gabriel was talking about the land, and he was saying how the gentleman that you all paid to survey the land didn't do his due diligence, but he was like, I'm paid. Do you pay for that first before the service is provided? And not after?
Yes, you pay half and pay the other half once you get the documents back.
You never give everything up front.
Oh, good advice.
Yeah, you never give everything up front because that person may not come back.
Right.
Yeah.
Not answering on the WhatsApp.
Or they might be delayed. They might be delayed because they have other commitments that they signed up to. So by the time they get back to you, it might be 2, 3, 4 weeks later.
Yeah. Okay.
So let me ask this question, kind of going back to the petrol and all that other stuff. Cost of living. So let's say a family wanted to come over, they wanted to rent, let's say rent a 3-bedroom house. Roughly, what does about a 3-bedroom house rent for? Average 3-bedroom house. Also, I guess if you can give us maybe some numbers in, I guess water, electric, just the basic bills that a person would need to, prepare for if they were moving.
It all depends on your, if you live in downtown Tampa, obviously, if you've got that kind of money to stay there, then, there's a price tag associated with that. Just like if you were living on the other side of Riverview, that has a price tag as well. So if it's, let's say, for example, in Adenta, you can pay, let's say, 2,000 cedis a month for a 3-bedroom house. 2,000
cedis would be like $400.
Yeah, you're right. That could be roughly about 300 and change.
Yeah, that's about yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So let's say $400 a month. Okay.
Now that is far from the city center. So you would need to, wherever you decide you're going to live has to be close to your place of work because of how bad the traffic is,
right,
or you will not be happy. Not be happy at all. You'll spend so much time in traffic that you'll miss time with your family.
Mm-hmm.
So what you need to do.
That was a hint right there. You saw that look.
It wasn't so subtle either. I saw that. I saw the side eye.
Okay, I had to put a little lip in there just to make sure.
And I would think your children's school as well would be something to consider.
Yes, the school is important. School is important, and there are. We searched, we compared. There's so many different things that are added to the curriculum that's outside of what's like necessary, but you want them to learn culturally. That makes a difference which school you would and would not choose. And with her, she's going to start learning French next year, and I love that. I want her to be multilingual, not only learning like the Romance languages. I want her to learn the local languages as well. That way I don't have to say anything because I definitely would get the high price. So if my girl here comes in and starts talking and she goes, "Mommy," or however, then it'll be the best thing for us. And we're all about helping the local economy and not just going to the large stores. But sometimes it's just, you need a break where you don't want to haggle over every single thing that you buy.
Yeah.
So you go to the larger chains. But again, we try to go to the markets and spend there. And of course, because it's fresh, it's from around here.
Yeah.
The electricity is relatively cheaper than it is in the US. But that's all subjective because if you use a lot of air conditioning, you will pay for it.
Yes, do not leave the house with your with anything on that doesn't need to be on because you're not there to enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's how this happens.
Do you have to,
And
you know how they do in Tanzania, you top
Yeah,
off, you pay as you go. There's not one monthly rate where they read a meter and then you pay for what you have used previously. Do you pay in advance or do you pay for what you have already
in
used?
advance,
In advance.
we have one of these payment cards
Yeah.
that you top up, you put it on, so it's prepaid. So
Mm.
we're spending on average like 300 cities, yeah, a month, which is, but this is a big,
dollars.
this is a 5-bedroom house, so, you know, yeah.
That's about $50, right?
Let me get my-
Yeah. So it's not that bad. No, not for this house.
Right.
that's-
If you're
And that
comparing it to the
includes-
cost of
that
living in the
includes-
US, it's
Because that includes the AC, right? You said the electricity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
$50 a month, man.
And he said he likes to have the AC on because he
Yeah.
doesn't like to be hot. So that's a good gauge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be hiding in one room and put the AC on, but it's not gonna be the whole house, but you know.
You have the individual units, not central like in the US and the UK.
That's right, it's individual units,
You
yeah,
got your units. So that's a good way
that's
to
another thing.
control it.
exactly.
Mhm.
You know, the centralized system, I've never understood it because that's how our house is in Florida. You can't really adjust each room, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We had problems with that when we first got together, actually, because when I actually stayed in Florida, she likes it really cold.
When I go to sleep, I need to be able to curl up in a fetal position like I'm supposed to. So it needs to be cold.
I was
And I
was
wanted
freezing.
to snuggle up together. That's it.
She telling stories. Listen, my chest, I could have sworn I had about 3 or 4 chest infections. It was really cold.
It wasn't that
I was,
cold.
remember, I
didn't
was
even
coughing at
adjust
night.
it.
I was
I
coughing.
changed it though.
You gave
wasn't-
your husband the
yeah.
mouth.
she did.
Gradually.
Because I didn't understand. I'm like, we're in Florida. It's summertime. Why am I freezing?
I was conditioned since childhood to be in a cold place when I go to sleep. It's supposed to be cold too.
You see when
I looked it up.
Live in a cold
you see when
climate.
these comedians say you know, certain wives are accustomed to certain things.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things that yeah
That's not a bad.
have to
thing,
tick them. Not if you- well,
Air conditioning must work. Or we having problems. Okay.
So we got the so electric, rent. What about water? And I
course.
guess
Cellular service, internet.
Water's not expensive. I would like to use the word slightly unreliable, only because it does go off certain times when they do maintenance. So you definitely have to have like a big tank reservoir system going on. So if they do turn it off, you got water coming through, and sometimes you don't even feel that it's turned off because you've
your
got backup.
And they can,
So is that standardly built with each home, the backup tank? Is that a standard?
Everybody does it now. Yes, everybody does it now. Standard.
but it wasn't for.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. It was. 20 years ago, it was very rare. But now everybody builds with a storage tank.
okay.
They've learned.
We're doing well. I mean, with our house that we're building now, we've dug a borehole because eventually we're going 100% off the grid.
Mhm.
I mean, we're going solar. We're growing our own vegetables. We're gonna have some chickens there. We're literally gonna be off the grid.
Self-sufficient.
Okay.
I mean,
That's what's up.
living in Africa where there's sun, majority of the day,
Yeah.
it just makes sense, because, yeah,
And also with electricity, just because you pay for it doesn't mean that you're going to have it all the time. And that's
Yeah.
not just here in Ghana.
Mhm.
So there are rolling blackouts. Sometimes you get the heads up, but sometimes you don't. So you just have to make sure that everything is fully charged and you have either a backup generator or a power cell. We have a power cell that's solar that will charge our phones if we need to, but you have to have that backup though. Don't get caught anywhere. That was not nice. That was Nigeria though, wasn't here. But still.
How do you get alerts that there's going to be a
Sorry?
rolling blackout?
Sometimes there'll be a notice. And then because of the community
Emails?
that we're in, no emails. It'll come up on Ghana Web or within one of the social media groups. We'll share it throughout.
On WhatsApp, yeah.
Oh, yeah, so you have to be connected. Well, let me tell y'all this. Don't go too far off the grid. We need to still be able to WhatsApp you and get in touch when we're ready to come and get a chalet. Okay? You come stay on the lake and relax. Don't go too far away from you. Thank you very much. So, okay, you guys introduced us to Voltaire Exodus. I know you have some connection to the expat community and networking. Give us some understanding of your involvement with that.
Right. So during the lockdown, a lot of our Airbnb clients stayed. They couldn't go anywhere because the country was locked down anyway. So Voltaire happened to be one of them. He was there with the sister. We had Essie from CNN and the husband. There was quite a few. We had quite a few people from the expat community that were living in the building anyway. So during that time, it was like nearly 7.5 months. I hadn't seen my wife. It was crazy.
He was over here and I was with Shia in Florida.
They were stuck in Florida. So
it wasn't nice.
Yeah. So the only way I could really keep sane was to invite people around. So we were having on the rooftop. We were having little get-togethers and stuff like that on the rooftop. So a lot of people from the international community came around. So during that time, we thought, why don't we just do something for the expat community so we feel like we're part of a community together. And if there's any information that we need to share amongst our peers, then we can do so. So that's how that kind of came about. And it's still flourishing till today. So there's, even on Facebook, you have different groups. There's one that I was active on today, started a controversy, but nevertheless, it's called Move to Ghana. There's which one is it? There's African Americans in Ghana.
Okay.
There's Ghana International Expats.
When you have to think about it, don't pop up in your head.
There's so many different expat sites that can give you knowledge on what's happening on the ground on a day-to-day basis. And there's some people that they don't pull no punches. They will tell you exactly how it is, and that's the best way to be.
They don't glamorize.
They don't glamorize it. So I can give an example. Like today, for example, I'm not going to mention any names, but I was on a particular site, and this lady put out on the platform that she wants to come to Ghana. Her fiance is in Ghana. She wants to come to Ghana. She needs advice on how to do that.
What does she need to do?
What does she need to do that? So because of the experience that I've had here with other people telling me their stories, alarm bells started ringing in my head.
Yeah.
You're engaged. He doesn't know how to get you to Ghana.
Yeah.
Where did you guys meet?
So he's like, what should I say? The first thing that popped out of my mouth was, don't go.
Yeah.
If you don't know what's going on and he can't help you with it, then don't go. You need to find out more information first. But he took over. And
I'll say this to our sisters in the international community. This is very, very important that you listen to this, okay? You might be coming from a failed marriage, failed relationship, or whatever it may be that was happening to you in the US or wherever you are in the diaspora. Do not think for 1 second moving to Africa is going to change all that, because you're going to a different continent and it's going to be a different experience with a different person. You'd be surprised. The mindsets are kind of similar. What you need to be very careful of is the fact that a car mechanic in the US is different to a car mechanic in Ghana. A carpenter in the US, which is classed as a skilled profession, is different to a carpenter in Ghana. So, or even an Uber driver in the US is different to an Uber driver in Ghana. So if you're talking to somebody online and he tells you he's a carpenter or he's a mechanic, you might equate it to, oh, well, that's a very good profession. That's a good job. And yes, it is. It's a very commendable job, but it doesn't pay as much. And you might think that they live in a very nice house and all those kind of things. But then you might get here and you realize he lives in a shack because that's what he can afford. Okay, then you'll be the person that will be spending out of pocket to look after them, look after the mother, the grandmother, the uncle who just died. You will hear so many different stories that will make you come out of pocket to help that person that you thought you fell in love with. So there's a lot of horror stories out there.
That is gold. I'm so glad you said that.
So I'm just being very transparent about this, is please do not fall for it. My advice, which I gave, I don't have my phone on me right now. My daughter's watching Netflix on it, but I gave 10 bullet points, what you're supposed to look out for. And I guess I can text that to you later so you can take a look. But one of them is, if you're the one that's paying for everything, that's a sign of something that's going to continue. Yeah.
But wait, before you even get there, is he asking you for money? Is he having some type of problem? He has to go to the hospital. His mom needs this. Someone needs that. And he's asking you to send him money prior to you getting here. That should be a red flag as well.
And now I think COVID is the biggest one. You know? Oh, my uncle is in hospital with COVID. We can't pay for the medical bills. And they might not ask you for money, but they'll put you in a position where you feel that you need to contribute. Okay. Because
as women, we're natural givers. We're nurturers. We want to help. We want to take care of the man that's going to be taking care of us, our protector. But
and based on the post that I put online, there was a lady that posted at number 11, because I put 10 points. She put number 11. And the feed was quite great because everyone would say, thank you so much for what you said. Thank you. You know, they're loving it. She runs an organization. I can't remember the name, but I'll send it to you. She runs an organization for situations like that, where if you're over here and, if your partner is over in Ghana and you need to do a background check. They do background checks. They do everything.
Looking out for
to find out who these people are. They do it. There's an organization in Ghana that does it. I was surprised when I looked at it. I was like, wow, this is good.
So happy.
They need to push it throughout the whole of Africa. But you do have
Nigeria big on that.
people that are in in the African Caribbean community that will say, well, why are you saying this? You're trying to stereotype. I'm not trying to stereotype any situation. I'm just trying to give you the heads up. I'm trying to give you the heads up that, it happens in the US as well. People catfish, people do so many different things.
Just want to be informed. We want you to make informed decisions about what you're going to do with the rest of your life and not just think that it's going to be some type of fairy tale. You're going over to Africa, you're going to meet, let me just stop. Yes.
I'm going to meet somebody, the Mandingo or something.
That's what I was about to say.
Exactly. I want the link. I want the so if we can get the information for that thread, because we have a Facebook page as well, and I'll share it on that. That is critical information. And like I said, it's about wanting people to be well informed, looking out for each other. That's what we're supposed to be doing, helping each other out, because we are our brother's keeper, So if you can remember the other names of the Facebook or Instagram pages or what have you that you were mentioning as well, just send it to me sometime and I'll put it on our Facebook.
I will send you the list, definitely.
Tag them in this, the bottom of this video, because that's good. That's golden. I'm telling you, that's going to save so many people.
Well, the funny thing is, before we came online, I checked on the feed and there was like 3 different people that were saying that, they needed this information. This is what they needed. And, to me, that's very touching. A lot of the times that I put things online. I put things online to advise people about, I don't put anything meaningfully negative that's controversial.
Derogatory, yeah.
Because I remember a friend of mine years ago, ex-friend, I should say, because they couldn't operate in the same space as me. But I remember her saying to me, why is it that you paint a picture like your life is hunky-dory and everything is great? How come you don't put anything like when you're angry or, when you're upset about certain things, you don't put it online? What's happened to me personally is my personal business. Okay, what I choose to put online is because somebody needs it at some point in their life. Why would I put something up there that other people
can't benefit from?
Because other people enjoy other people's sorrows.
Yeah.
The only negative thing the only thing I put online, which wasn't negative, was when my mum passed and my dad passed. And I put it out there not because I wanted people to feel sorry for me, is because I've got family members in different countries and I can't call everybody and say, this is what the situation is. So if I put it out on Blast, everybody gets it at the same time or whenever they check their messages, the Facebook, then at least it's out there. But you're not gonna go on my page and find anything negative. You're gonna find words of encouragement.
Inspiring.
Oh, good vibes only. Yes.
Yes.
So any last words? No, not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
This is good. I know we don't want to hold you all too long. It's getting late there because there's a 5-hour difference. So, but you're wearing a t-shirt, Gabriel.
What's with you guys?
So we want to see, well, no, it's early for us. It's just 3:00. We can talk to you all night. So first, I'm going to say this, that protective mechanism that they innately have with regard to putting information out there so that the diaspora knows what they're getting into when they come to Ghana, that we instantly felt when we met them while we were there. What's on your plans for today? Who you're going to see, what you're trying to do. Okay, this is where you need to go instead. This is who you need to talk to. How much did they charge you? And so again, I just want to say how much we appreciate that. And now our viewers can see that you genuinely care and that you only want the best and you want people to come to Africa and have a good experience and navigate some of the challenges and some of the pitfalls and avoid them, really, not even navigate them, but know the real, and not be flaking. It wasn't just, oh, have a good time. Make sure you pay your tenant fee for our Airbnb. Yeah. We'll see you on the checkout. Make sure you don't burn the house down. No, it wasn't like that.
5 stars.
So
see the thing is,
so authentically and genuinely you, and I just love it. That's why we are still friends to this day. Good people.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
The thing is, I like to believe that we're not foreigners in this country. And the situation is the fact that when people come in, a lot of the people that come into our Airbnbs are from outside. So it's important that we put ourselves in that framework as well, in that mindset that, look, if we came to another country, we would want that advice as well. We want to be taken care of as well. And if there's any pitfalls or anything that we can avoid, tell us.
Yeah.
So that's why obviously when we met you, we do it to all our guests. You are special. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying.
Longest conversations were with you guys.
Yeah. We love you guys.
Definitely special.
Yeah. It's something that we just naturally do, because if you have a bad experience in Ghana, it reflects obviously on us as well. So the whole experience needs to be good. I mean, what you said, like you went to 3 different tailors, 2 of them did well, 1 of them didn't do well. And, I know it sounds like I'm putting it on blast. We have to be real. It's, you will get that situation. So, introduce you to the right people that, that do the right things. And we don't, and one thing I like to put out there, we don't always get it right as well. We do make mistakes, not in terms of referrals, but we've been here and we've made some wrong decisions in terms of where we went to go and eat, and it turns out that we ended up with food poisoning.
No mercy.
It happens. So would I advise you not to go there? Yes, I will.
And you didn't
So,
expect
you know,
anything in return.
we've been
You
through.
know? You weren't expecting us to give you a tip or pay you, or you weren't waiting for any of that. You know, that was another thing that I wanted to point out. There are a lot of YouTubers and just people out in the social media space that give advice to a certain extent. And then after that, you know, there's a consultation fee, or, you know, they're expecting you to give them a little something, but you're helping just for the sake of helping, because out of the kindness of your heart, you just want people to have a good experience. So that's awesome.
And that's how it should be. The world would be a much better place if people are a lot more transparent and helpful.
I agree. So tell us about your shirt and the organization you're involved in promoting.
Let me step aside.
No, you don't have to step aside.
Okay, let me do that. Let me put on my advertising voice. Get Vim. No, right. So basically, the GV stands for Get Vim. It's a friend of mine's organization. It's called Landlord Merch Ghana or something like that. On Facebook as well as Landlord Merch. So you can get all your merchandise, including the Get Vim hats, the t-shirts. This particular t-shirt, when I saw it, I loved it straight away because it says exactly how I feel. Okay, so let me step back.
They call it Africa. We call it home. That's right. I love it.
Now, I never really asked him exactly why he did this t-shirt, but I understand why he did it, because historically, when you think of the word Africa, that wasn't something that was derived from us. The history dates back to the Roman Empire or Italy.
He can speak all about it. He's a scholar on that. He wrote a book.
Okay.
Perfect. So he knows. So it is problematic to call ourselves African, just because nobody likes to be called something that somebody else that is not part of the culture has identified you as. Like, it's very problematic to to say, okay, you're black and you're white. It's easy to say you're black, you're white, because everybody else, are identified by their continent of origin or their country of origin. So you look at a Chinese person, you say he's Chinese. You say Indian person, they're Indian, okay? But when you see us, it's either you're black, well, we don't have any more choices. It's just you're black.
That's right.
And I don't think, to me, that doesn't make sense, because when you look at, in the dictionary of what is, what black, the meaning of it, or what it relates to, it's very derogatory compared to what white is. So it's like we're polar opposites. So I have a problem with that. I do fight it on a daily basis. Like when people ask me, "How are you?" I say, "I'm Ghana," because that's the tribe that my father.
Yes.
I'm chocolate.
You what?
Chocolate.
That's what I thought. Me too. I don't know. He's Igbo. I'm gonna be chocolate with you, Tachonta. Milk chocolate.
Okay.
I think we do need to go back to what we are. We need to identify with whether our country of origin or our tribes of origin.
That's right.
Why not? Why do you have to fill a form that says you're black this or black that?
Yeah.
And everybody else gets a pass. Even in Europe, I've seen it. Like in the UK, when we used to fill out forms, it's like you're black, you're white. There is white other, because I've seen white Irish, white Welsh, white Polish. No, the Polish comes under European. You're Polish, Hungarian, Russian, German, and all the other ones. But black, I think now they've expanded it maybe to another two categories, where it's Caribbean or African. That's it. Oh, then they put other. So I always tick other. Then I put Ga, G-A. Let them figure that out.
on now.
I'm pretty sure behind the scenes they put black.
You go put that in the computer for the data.
Yeah, but it is problematic. It is very, very problematic. But I think as more and more people get enlightened, and because the knowledge is out there will be an uprising and people will start changing. I was hoping with the Black Lives Matter movement, how people were obviously getting in their feelings because of what happened. There would be a lot more progression with us self-identifying who, we are as a people. Woo, woo, nice. And, some of the movements that I've seen, which are very progressive, was the fact that there's a lot more people buying from each other now.
Yes.
So we're spending money amongst ourselves, which is excellent. And that's why I would recommend anybody, if you like it, landlord merch, go there and buy, the t-shirts, the hats and all that kind of stuff. And if there's any manufacturers, designers out there, or even someone who has a car company, you can manufacture cars, put it out there, put it out there. We will buy. We have, within our community, we have a lot of money. I can tell you this, for example, and as well, when you go to church, I've done this experiment when I was doing my documentary, okay? I was standing outside of a church, and on average, and this was in the UK, when I looked at the clothes that people were wearing, it was roughly about 150 pounds of clothes people were wearing. And they weren't from our community. You had Nike trainers, you had jeans and all that kind of stuff. So we're looking at, in a dollar sense, it's like $180 to $200 worth of clothes. And there was like 2,000 people that went into that auditorium. So look how much money is going outside of our economy. Okay, if that was coming back to us, do you think we'll be in the same position? No, we wouldn't. So we need to be wise about where we spend.
Absolutely. That's why it was important for us to make sure that we let people know about your Airbnb, because we want them to spend their money with our community, with our family. Exactly.
I appreciate it.
Now I see why you all we connected so well. I mean, he is over here like, Yes, you all are brothers. You don't even know it. That's good stuff. You contributed to a book, and then after you tell us about that, you can give us some closing remarks to Tachonta and Gabriel, but tell us about the book that you contributed to as well.
Okay, there was a book that was written by Diallo Sombri. It's about the expat experience. You can search for it online. It was basically, it gives you an insight into those that came from the diaspora, the experiences that they've had in coming to Ghana. Now, with the section that I wrote about was purely about real estate, because that's my forte. That's what I work in, both as an owner, a landlord, and a developer as well. So, and it covered land purchasing as well. So that was my window to an opportunity within that book for me to share my experience. But there's other stories on there, including Diallo's one. He's originally from DC. He's been, I was about to say he's been knighted. He's been, he's now a chief in an area in the eastern region, just north of us.
How long has he been there?
Diallo's been in and out of Ghana because he was pivotal in the movement. Well, I would say in the Year of Return, he was very active in the promotion of the Year of Return.
Yes.
So he's been here a good 2 or 3 years, but on and off. He's not always here. Like, he's here for 2 months or so, then goes back to DC, does some work, then bounces back. But he's a very good source of information. A very, very good source of information.
Okay. Oh, that's something we didn't talk about. You said work.
Yeah.
If you decide to come over here and get a job, if you're going to get a job in the Ghanaian economy, you just have to realize that 35 cedis an hour is not what you're used to in the US. And 35 cedis an hour is a great paying job over here.
So that would be a high paying job?
35 CDs an hour, yes, and
$6 an hour.
6 CDs to $1 right now. So that's less than $6 an hour for us. So that's not something that we would really want to live off of. So make sure you have some type of residual, or a lot of people do remote work. To make sure you're getting paid in dollars or in pounds from the UK, to help with your cost of living here. That way you can live the way you lived in the US. Because
Right.
right now, trying to live off of that, you would not be happy. You would not be happy.
That's true.
Do you have any
Oh,
remote
sorry, let me show.
recommendations? Do you have any friends there that have particular jobs that you might be able to throw out a couple of ideas of what kind of remote jobs to work?
Yeah. Customer
Customer
service.
service, yeah. Call center jobs.
Uh-huh.
Because the internet is not that bad over here. It does fluctuate now and again, but there are good internet packages that you can get. You have the VPNs as well. So if you're getting a job that they don't know where you are, launch codes. You can live here and make your dollars.
Secret.
Okay. Yeah. So
Transcribe, be a personal assistant, or what is that?
Virtual assistant?
Administrative assistant. Yeah, do that as well.
graphic designing jobs, you can be international with that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
A
you.
lot of consulting jobs as well. There's a lot out there. But sorry, just to put it out there as well, because I did speak about the book. It's called A Smart Ghana Repatriation Guide. Okay, so you can check that out on Amazon. It's available, the hard copy, and I believe they have a downloaded copy as well.
A Smart Ghana Repatriation Guide.
Yes.
Amazon and
By Diallo Sombri.
okay, thanks. All right, you guys, we're gonna let you go and get into the evening relaxation mode. Anything else you want to share? Any good nuggets of golden? Maybe we'll have to have you back for a
Part two.
recap of our conversation of the year of return and beyond the return. That's a whole nother video because we spent a lot of time talking about
Yes.
the pros
I
and
know.
cons, the benefits and the not so much benefits. What were you gonna say,
Yeah.
Tachonta? I'm sorry.
I was gonna say that, with the ease between the couples, the two of you and the two of us, we could continue talking on and on and on. And I know.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
And,
there's a lot to share.
Yeah. You talking about the year of return or beyond the return, there are some controversial stuff that's out there because of it. In terms of, people are saying, in different forums that it was more of a money operation.
Commercial.
It was more about, African Americans coming in and just they're making money from them and not having a historical home. That's not the truth. I mean, if that was somebody's experience, then it's very subjective to them, and
Yeah,
then
that's not for all.
it's not for all. It's not for all. A lot of people have come, have returned, and have made Ghana home.
Yeah.
And I've heard so many stories, speaking to a lot of them, and there's tears in people's eyes where they go to the castles, families adopt them, especially after they've done their DNA test and stuff, and they feel full. They feel that whole love of not being, walking into a store and being followed, not being, pulled over because of the color of your skin, not being judged. There's so many things that happen in the Western world for people that look like us, that when you're here, it doesn't happen. And that level of freedom, you can't put money on that. You can't put money on that at all.
You sure can't. You can breathe. Somebody said my hat is dope, so I just want to give another little nudge. On the market when I was there in Accra, I love my hat. I'm not usually this rough around the edges in this urban, but I had to do it right for Ghana. But
Oh, it looks nice. You make it look good.
Yeah.
You make it look
Really.
Thank you. Are there any other comments you want to mention before we let them sign off?
So we got a couple before we sign off. JC on here, he says, yes, guys, the greatest tribe ever. Yes, I said it, he said.
Ghanain, somebody else said.
It says,
Thank you.
yes, Diallo Sumbri, check him out on Ghana Web TV, diaspora link. Many online jobs people are doing. Check out YouTuber Sharice Hayes, who moved to Ghana and works online.
Okay.
So yeah.
Good information. Thank you, family.
Yes.
Like this video because it was full of so much great information. Share it with people who may not even be interested in moving to Ghana, to Accra, but moving to the continent, because just the whole real estate, you know, the knowing that you have to sacrifice some smooth roads for some bumpy roads, you know, all those kind of things it's information that you can utilize anywhere pretty much in Africa. Know what you're getting into, do your research, don't fall in love with nobody and they asking you for all this money. Invest yourself in finding out exactly what's going on before you leave. There's so much information in here. So this was a great video. We thank you all so much for your time. Definitely want people to subscribe so that they can see if we have any follow-up conversations. Follow our friends there in Accra. Do you have any more upcoming real estate ventures? Are you going to, besides the chalets in the city, if people want the city experience, do you have any other condos or apartments that you plan to put up or put for Airbnb?
The main thing right now is for us to finish the main house.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to build a house for my wife so she's comfortable.
Yeah.
And that comes with a big 5-bedroom house with a swimming pool. Let's not go any further. The house is coming up nice.
Good.
It's
We
coming up
can't
really
wait to
nice.
visit.
And when it's finished, we'll take the drone down there, we'll take some shots, and we'll send it to you. Take a look. It's beautiful.
Yay.
Good stuff.
So
When
wife
you
is
come
happy.
back.
Wife is happy. She left the US. You're good to go. You're getting used to driving around and you're looking forward to planning your own food and all those things. You don't have any regrets. You're happy.
She drives around herself. When she started driving my house, I was so happy because it's like, at least I don't need to drive her around anymore. You know, it's great. You know,
But it gave me a better sense of self.
Yeah.
It gave me more confidence and just happiness about being here because I don't have to rely on him or having him have someone take me around. It helped me assert more of an independence here. So I felt more like my own person coming into my own. And it builds your confidence because they drive worse than the people in Miami. And Turkey's bad too. So they will. You're going down one way and then the car is coming towards you, but then they turn on the other side.
Let me tell you something.
They make their own lane.
Many times while we were around.
Just to recap on something, I think we didn't cover it about the citizenship. Now, a lot of, I don't know if, don't quote me on this, about, I think it's roughly about 300 African Americans got their citizenship during the year of return.
Yeah.
And I think there's a next batch of people that are going to be getting their citizenship as well. But you can get a non-citizen, non-resident card.
No, resident. You're resident, non-citizen.
Sorry, non-citizenship card. You can get one of those, okay? That will lead you to getting citizenship after you've been here, I think 5 years, I think.
Is that the Ghana card? Is that
we
it's not the Ghana card.
Okay.
No, but we
like when you get like for him to have residency in the US, he's a resident, but he's not a citizen.
So I get a green card, but I'm not. I don't have.
He won't be able to vote.
Yeah,
but he can get a job.
Are you talking about in the US he can't vote?
No,
or in Ghana?
She's talking about in Ghana.
Okay. Oh, okay. But you said, but he can get a job?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be.
Well, no, I was talking about if he's in the US.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Say that one more time so we make sure that it's clear.
As the
I'm getting some
Freezing.
freezing.
and he can have a job, but as a citizen, you are able to vote. So you can be a
Mhm.
resident without being a citizen. So
Mhm.
I am a resident without being a citizen
Mhm.
of
Okay.
Ghana.
Got you. Right.
How can anybody follow you guys on social media? You have social media handles that we need to put out there?
Oh, yeah.
I'm the one that's active on social media.
Yeah.
I'm the one that's very active. I don't have no fancy name. It's literally my name. So if you're seeing this, if it's on Instagram, it's at Gabriel Ammah, spelled Ammah. On Facebook is my name. Hey, it's just my name. I don't, there's no other name like Fall Guy 26 or. It's just my name.
No
Okay.
Ghana news. Okay, good. We'll link people up to you because you all are a wealth of information and just beautiful people. So thank you. Thank you for your time.
No problem at
We
all.
appreciate the interview. We appreciate you guys. And we look forward to part 2.
Thank you for
Excellent.
including us.
And have a fantastic rest of your day. And
Oh, stay safe. Stay warm.
oh yeah, stay safe, definitely.
All of that.
So concerned about us.
That guys, oh my goodness.
We will, I promise.
Okay.
Thank you.